you don't have the room to explore your creativity because there is pressure on you. You are supposed to do about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I don't know, designs, work on some videos too in a day. You have the room to be flexible. You can choose the time to work. You can work at dawn, you can work in the afternoon, you can work in the morning, right? You might have a client coming into your DM asking for a brand identity for a soft drink, right? You might have a client coming into your DM asking for a poster for a marketing campaign 9 to 5. After 5, you're done with work. But even with that, sometimes you are expected to work after 5 p.m. So you don't exactly work 9 to 5. Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. If you are a creative, or maybe you are aspiring to be a creative, or you have the passion to be a designer, a videographer, a photographer, at a point in time you are going to be faced with this question: whether you should be a freelancer or whether you should work a 9 to 5. If you went through the university or the college route, I'm certain that you will be presented with the option of working a 9 to 5, right? If you're a self-taught designer, eventually the best option would be for you to freelance, right? Because freelancing and then working a 9 to 5 is actually way more difficult than, going the college way and then working a 9 to 5, but then it's still possible. So in the course of this video, I'm going to share the results of a poll I created, or I brought up on WhatsApp and on Instagram as well. And then I'm going to share my insight with you as well as to my opinion on working a 9 to 5 and being a freelancer, the pros and cons, and then which one of them is actually better suited for you. All right. And so without further ado, let's jump right into the video. All right, so for the poll that I conducted on WhatsApp, right? I mean, the number of designers or creatives in the group are actually more than 200, but then only a few people voted or share their opinion in the poll. And the poll was that I was like, "Hello guys, I'm planning a content about working a 9 to 5 as a creative, and I'd like to know a few things from you guys. Kindly select the option you belong to. I'm a freelancer. I work a 9 to 5." And guess what? Almost everyone is into freelancing, right? We have about 28 votes for freelance, and then we have only 5 votes for working a 9 to 5. And that should tell you how much freelancing is a huge deal in the country, right? And also, I conducted a poll on Instagram, right, where I asked my followers or my viewers to select between working a freelance or working a 9 to 5, and 100% here, like 100% of them actually selected freelance. 100%, like literally no one selected a 9 to 5. Why do you guys hate 9 to 5 jobs like that? Like, I don't know. But like I said, I'll be sharing my opinion. I'll be sharing my so like I said, I'll be sharing my opinion as well and my experience working a 9 to 5 and also working as a freelancer. Yeah, so I'm going to start with the pros and cons of working a 9 to 5. And the first point is that you have limited creative freedom, and that is a huge fact. Unlike you being a freelancer where maybe you are communicating directly with a client, and the client is just going to be specific, and then you have that room to explore your creativity and all of that. Working a 9 to 5 is actually not the exact opposite, because there are times when you have the room to explore your creativity, but then 80% of the time you are not allowed. Not that you are not allowed per se, but then you don't have the room to explore your creativity because there is time. Time is on you, right? So you are allocated time to do something. There is pressure on you. You are supposed to do about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I don't know, designs, work on some videos too in a day, right? So you don't exactly have the time to explore your creativity. You don't have the time to play around and try to come up with something new. So in the long run, your best option is that you do something regular that will save you time and get the job done. So you have limited creative freedom. That's one. And two, there is a structured environment. Unlike being a freelancer, working a 9 to 5, there is a structured environment. You are reporting to your senior. If you are the senior, you are reporting to your boss or your creative director. If you are the creative director, you are reporting to your manager, your boss. right? And before you can post anything, or before you can actually put particular graphic out there, you have to send it to your creative director to approve of it, or you have to send it to your boss to approve of it, right? So in this case, you are supposed to follow a particular hierarchy or a structure in the workplace. There is time for you to report to work. You are probably supposed to sign in. Aside signing in, you are assigned some tasks for the day. If not, you have to set a particular target for yourself. Aside that, I mean, everything is just structured, and I believe you understand what I mean by that. And the third point I'll mention is that there is team collaboration. And this is where working a 9 to 5 is actually at an advantage, right? Because you working as a freelancer, you work solo, right? You work alone. So you don't really have the room to share ideas with people, to get their opinions on a particular project. But working a 9 to 5, you are working with a team. There is a social media team, there is a creative team, there is the content creator, there is the marketing manager, you, the designer. I mean, it's a whole team, right? You are able to share ideas, share opinions, right? Come up with creative content ideas. But then being a freelancer, you don't actually have a team to work with. You are working solo, you are working alone. To sum up the aspect of working a 9 to 5, I would also mention stability. And when I mention stability, what I mean is that unlike being a freelancer, working a 9 to 5, you have a stable paycheck, right? At the end of every month, you know that something is coming into your pocket. At the end of every month, you know that there are some incentives, there are some, some other, coins that will be coming into your pocket. So whether you are able to achieve a specific target or a task, at the end of the month, you know that this amount of money is coming into my pocket. So there is stability. You are stable. You are rest assured that this is the amount of money I'm earning at the end of the month. But on the other side, in freelancing, there is instability, which means that you might have a whole month of back-to-back clients coming into your DM asking for projects, paying you back to back. And after that 1 month, you might have an extra 3 months of pure should I say, I was about to mention the desert, but then 3 months of you not even having the clients coming to your DM to ask your rates or your charges. And that is the disadvantage of working as a freelancer. Your income is unstable. So, I mean, there are times when it's going to come in abundance. Then there are times when it's going to, not come in at all. So working a 9 to 5 gives you a stable income, and you have a stable mind. You are able to work knowing very well that at this time of the month, this is what I'm earning. So let's move on to working as a freelancer, and then the pros and cons of working as a freelancer. And the first point I'll mention is flexibility. Working as a freelancer gives you the room to be flexible, to explore, right? And one of the best parts of being a freelancer is the ability to work from home. If you're a freelancer working with websites like Upwork, Freelancer, Fiverr, and all of those freelancing websites, you have the room to be flexible. You can choose the time to work. You can work at dawn, you can work in the afternoon, you can work in the morning. I mean, literally, you choose when to work and when not to work. That's the whole idea of being flexible, right? Then the next point I'm going to mention is unpredictability. Like I mentioned, that is instability. Like it's unstable. Your income is unstable. You can have back-to-back loads of income, back-to-back clients coming into your DM asking your rates, your charges. You might even earn like probably over 10,000 Ghana cedis or dollars in a month. And then the next 6 months after that month is going to be pure dryness, where even if you're going to have any client at all, it's probably going to be a cheap client. The third point I'm going to mention is self-discipline. You are your own boss if you're a freelancer. Like I said, flexibility actually relates to being disciplined. You are your own boss. And in this case, discipline comes into trajectories, right? The first part is that you are tempted to not be disciplined because you are not reporting to anybody. You are tempted to feel lazy. You decide when to work. I mean, there has been times when I've seen videos online, like a meme kind of thing, where like a client gives you a job and then they send you a link to a Google Drive where you're supposed to access the images for that particular project. You don't access the images maybe after a couple of days, and the client comes into your DM, and then the client is like, hey, how far with the project? And then you tell the client, oh, I'm almost through. Meanwhile, you haven't even checked out the Google Drive. You go into the client's DM to click on the link to access the Drive link, and you realize that the client has to give you permission to access the images. And at that point, you are just embarrassed. Like, you are just embarrassed, and you have literally disappointed the client. So yeah, discipline. But then in the other way, you are also tempted to discipline yourself. So if you are following me on Instagram, I recently translated the interview between TM Creatives and Justice on his Back to Art channel. I'll try to paste his link in the description for you guys. You can check out the interviews. It's very, very educative and interesting, where they spoke about leveraging social media as a creative, pricing, how to put yourself out there, and all of those things. So I transcribed. Should I say transcribe or transfer? I translated whatever the trans. I translated their content into a carousel, and in one of the pages, it was like, if you don't treat your design career as a business, even though you're a freelancer, you are going to fail. And that is the truth of it. If you are going to discipline yourself as a freelancer, set a particular time for yourself. If you are, even though you are not working a 9 to 5, you can even set the time to yourself that you work from 9 to 5. After 5, you are done with work, you go rest. If there is any extra job to do, I mean, you can always do it. And the thing is that as creatives, we are more productive at night. So most probably you might want to work at night, which is cool. It's not bad. It's not a bad idea. So, but then discipline yourself. If you are going to be consistent on social media, that's a whole topic on its own. But then discipline yourself to be consistent on social media. Discipline yourself to work at a particular time. Take breaks when necessary. Avoid being lazy. Avoid being lazy. All right. And then there is the variety of work, right? In this case, as a freelancer, you are able to work on varieties of works or industries, right? You might have a client coming into your DM asking for a brand identity for a soft drink, right? You might have a client coming into your DM asking for a poster for a marketing campaign. You can have someone coming into your DM or someone mailing you asking you your rates for working on an identity design for a model program or a pageantry or something like that. So you are able to work on a variety of projects, and that is one advantage of working as a freelancer. So the key comparisons are: one, there is a work-life balance, right? Freelance, you have more control over your life, whereas 9 to 5, exactly 9 to 5. After 5, you are done with work. But even with that, sometimes you are expected to work after 5 p.m. So you don't exactly work 9 to 5. It's like the 9 to 5 is, I don't know, conditional. I mean, yeah, like you get it. And then there is a career growth. Working as a 9 to 5, you are able to experience, career growth because you might be promoted at your workplace. You might get the chance to go for conferences and programs where you'll be able to network with people and all of those things. So there is a higher rate of career growth working a 9 to 5 than working as a freelancer. And then the third point is financial stability. As a freelancer, you have unstable source of income. As a 9 to 5, you have a stable source of income. That is it. So back to my personal experience. At the moment, I'm working a 9 to 5. Yeah, I'm working a 9 to 5. But then this is like my second job as a 9 to 5. The first job I worked as a 9 to 5, it was a mix of education. I was teaching and doing graphics at the same time. But right now I'm focusing more on graphics and media stuff and social media as well. But let me share my personal experience working as a freelancer, right? There were times when, like, a whole month I'm going to get clients back to back. I get clients coming to my DM. I even select the clients I want to work with. But then there are times when I'll go 3, 4, 5 months without no clients, like literally no clients coming to my DM. And it just leaves me frustrated thinking. But then in this case, that is why freelancing, or as a freelancer, I would suggest that you have a side hustle as well. If you're going to focus on the merch. And talking of merch, a friend of mine and my colleague at work and I decided to start an anime merch in Ghana. And as you can see that I'm wearing a solo leveling. I think it will be 10, but I don't know. Solo leveling. It's supposed to be solo leveling, but then yeah, you get it. It's solo. So I mean, if you want a hoodie, a t-shirt, something like this, I mean, I'm going to be posting them on social media so that you can access them. If you want one, just send me a DM and then we'll arrange things. The pricing is quite affordable. So back to business. If you want to start a merch, or I mean, create a course for people to buy, or you want to, I mean, create any digital product where people are able to buy, I mean, that can also sustain you as a creative in a case where you are not having clients as a freelancer. And then working a 9 to 5, there is one thing I have noticed about working a 9 to 5. 80% of the time you don't have the room to be creative. And the truth is that even when you are being creative, your supervisor or your boss might not even see your creativity as being creative. And that's the sad part of it. And even working as a freelancer, there are times when you do something to you, it might seem creative, but then the client will see it as like, what's that? Like, what is that? You get? So I mean, it's similar, but then working as a 9 to 5, you don't have room to be creative. If there is time, then you can explore your creativity. But then if there is no time, then you have to do something that is fast and easier. So in working as a 9 to 5, the priority is delivery and on time. You have to deliver on time. And then as a freelancer, of course, you have room to explore your creativity. Yeah, so at the end of the day, if I'm to pick between freelance and working a 9 to 5, I would pick both. Yeah, I mean, I'll pick both. I'm saying both because I'm actually doing both. So as much as I'm working a 9 to 5, I also do freelance, right? So the truth is, you don't have to pick between the two. If you can select both of them, please do, because it's going to be helpful, right? Having a regular, constant paycheck coming to you and working freelance, getting some other side gigs as well is very, very helpful and important, right? As a creative, freelance should be part of your something. It should be as a creative. So that sums up our video for today. I'd like to hear your thoughts, guys. If you think freelance is better than working a 9 to 5, or basically, which of them are you doing? Are you working a 9 to 5? Are you a freelancer? Why would you pick one over the other? Let me know in the comment section. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to leave a like, all right, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell notification icon for more creative related content. So until next time, stay creative, guys. Peace.